Chris Rock $10 million Malibu Mansion Tour. Comedian Chris Rock has long been entertaining his fans from his early days at Saturday Night Live to more current times with his Netflix stand-up specials.
If you don't punch your black son in the face, that's child abuse. It's hard being a cop, but some jobs, everybody gotta be good. American Airlines can't be like, most of our pilots like to land.
Chris comes across as pretty low-key, and part of that probably has to do with the fact he doesn't live in Hollywood. But he does have a pretty impressive estate in Alpine, New Jersey, the most expensive neighborhood in the state to boot. In this video, we'll look at where the funny man calls home, and we even found some of the listings. What are we waiting for? Action! Chris Rock is a comedian, actor, writer, producer, and director. I think George Lucas can sue somebody. Although he worked as a stand-up comedian and appeared in small film roles prior.
I love all of them.
Not right now, man, not right now.
Come on, let me get one picture with you.
Hey, what's that?
He rose to prominence on Saturday Night Live in the early 90s when he was a cast member in the 2000s. Chris then moved on to starring film roles and kept going with his stand-up, even being voted one of the top 5 greatest stand-ups by Comedy Central. Stand-up is the only art form that once you get big at it, you're encouraged not to do it anymore. He's had a series of acclaimed specials on HBO and more recently has some for Netflix and of course, developed, wrote, and narrated the sitcom Everybody Hates Chris, which was based on his early life.
Now, I'm 39, right? And I still love rap music. I love rap music, man. I love it! I'm 39 and I'm that age, man. I've been loving rap music forever. And as I get older, I realize I'm gonna
In his early life, the comedian grew up mostly in Brooklyn, New York. It makes sense, then, that Chris long owned a gorgeous carriage house in the same city, living there during the SNL days, which, of course, we'll also be taking a look at soon. At the time of this recording, Chris's net worth is at an estimated $100 million or more, which may be a lot higher than you'd think. But considering even recently the comic took home a whopping $40 million for 2 Netflix specials alone, I'm not surprised. Chris long owned a home in Brooklyn, New York, in the Clinton Hill neighborhood, an artsy family area with A-list residents such as Susan, Sarandon, and Mostev. He bought the place back in 1994 when he was newly famous for starring in Saturday Night Live. Property records from the time don't disclose how much Mr. Rock paid for the house while his success was on the rise, though he did take out 2 mortgages in the 90s for about $300K each. He has long rented out the property for various rates ranging from around $8,000 to $15,000 per month, according to records dating back to 2009. In 2017, it finally hit the market for sale. The 3-story carriage house was built back in 1901 at the turn of the 20th century, and although it holds on to many of the original details like wood beams and the exposed brick, it's been updated for the modern residents. Unlike many New York City residences, this one has plenty of space, spanning 4,480 square feet with 3 beds and 5 baths. Chris's Brooklyn house was 20 feet wide and the layout was super area and flexible, offering dramatic high ceilings and open spaces. Some of the other period details in the grand health that was left alone include the steep mansion roof and the metalwork. The loft-like living and dining room is enormous and flows into the modern kitchen with a breakfast bar and additional eating and sitting areas. The 20-foot ceilings are prominent throughout most of the home and many windows let in natural light, some of which are gorgeous detailed stained glass. The master suite that Chris would have occupied here was massive, with 23-foot ceilings complete with skylights and a separate seating area, not to mention a beautiful ensuite bathroom with double vanities and a huge walk-in closet. The house has not 1, but 2 attached outdoor spaces. There's a garden with a built-in barbecue you can access from a few of the rooms thanks to glass doors as well as a rooftop deck, making the home quite the urban oasis. Additional amenities as per the listing include the basics like a full laundry room, central AC, tons of closet and storage space, as well as a private 2-car parking garage, which isn't so basic in terms of New York City, it's quite rare. Although Chris's gorgeous turn-of-the-century modernized carriage house served him quite well over the years and gave him some extra income while he rented it, he ended up selling it for $335 million. Now let's see where Chris calls home in New Jersey. Chris has been living at his current home for quite some time now. According to property records, he bought this mansion for $3 million back in 2001. We even found those property records. And that's how I know his mega estate is in or right past the posh Timberline estates where other celebs live as well, including the likes of Lil' Kim. And clearly, I'm not the only one who knows Mr. Rock still lives here. A couple of years back, his address was exposed by a realtor on their celebrity trick-or-treat list. I mean, what kid wouldn't want to go to the wealthiest homes for Halloween anyway? Those records show that this home was purchased by Chris and Malik Rock, which of course is the comic's ex-wife and mother of his children. So there's your proof. Unfortunately, the pair is now divorced, and this became a no-turning point in Chris's life that he later regretted. He has spoken about his infidelities and the importance of caring in marriage in his alimony tour. After 18 years of what was called a pretty good marriage, Chris and Malik finally signed divorce papers and called it quits. He opened up about bad things he has done in his marriage and admitted he was wrong, stating your significant other, if they love you, has a high opinion of you and you let them down.
We used to have busing.
Yeah.
We used to have this whole notion in America that we could get rid of racism. Yeah. Thank God we stopped that.
I got divorced and lost all my money. Either way, it still seems Chris lives in this mega mansion located in Alpine, New Jersey. The comedian lives in the most expensive and luxurious neighborhood in the States, but what else would you expect from a celeb? Sadly, not much is known about this mega mansion or the interior anyways. But let's see what we do know. Chris's New Jersey property covers 2 acres and was built in 1999. Online sources state that his home is the second on the street on the left and has a pink heated exterior with several peaked rooflines and 2 turrets. Inside, Chris's mansion spans around 130 living spaces with 4 beds and 4 baths. From aerial views, we can see the large in-ground swimming pool and the wraparound driveway. Of course, the estate is completely gated as well. Of the many luxurious features that I'm sure exist at Chris's home, one website says that he has 7 fireplaces throughout as well as an arcade, but I've yet to see it for myself. Next up, I'm going to call this one a bonus house, because truth is, I'm not 100% sure Chris owns it. When you do a Google search of Chris Rock's home, a photo that kept coming up and linked for this gorgeous place in Malibu. A couple of websites said Mr. Rock did own this home. But like I said, I'm not sure most celebrities do like keeping a home on the West Coast close to Hollywood, so I wouldn't be surprised. Not to mention, Chris has been spotted in Malibu, often with fellow funny man Adam Sandler before. According to the listing, this Malibu home is a private oasis. It was last sold in 2017 for $9.5 million. So hey, maybe it was Chris who bought, because from my memory, that's the same year he sold his Brooklyn place. Anyways, the house spans over 8,300 square feet with 5 beds and 5 baths and sits on about 1.5 acres of land. The Malibu home was custom designed and is perched behind gates on a very private road for ultimate security. The common spaces have wooden ceilings and floors as well as fireplaces and many floor-to-ceiling doors and windows with access to the outside patios. The property has a very tropical vibe and has also been described as Balinese style. There's a massive gourmet kitchen and dining area with commercial-grade appliances and more than 1 living room or family room nearby. Other features include a large screening room, home gym, and a beautiful master suite with 2 large walk-in closets. Not to mention there's an additional guest house that overlooks the huge pool and lounging deck and a 3-car garage. This Malibu house has a great indoor-outdoor feel to it and looks perfect for entertaining. As I said, I'm not sure if Chris owns the home or if it's just a rumor, but whoever is lucky enough to occupy this Malibu estate also has access to a private beach area with a beach key. If you guys happen to know whether or not this Malibu property belongs to Chris, let me know in the comments. So now we've taken a look at Chris Rock and where he calls home, including what we know about his current estate in Alpine, New Jersey, his Brooklyn carriage house, and the Malibu home that may or may not be his. Which one was your favorite? I personally like the Brooklyn one. I mean, you had me at turn of the century and built-in 1901, not to mention the stained glass windows. Anyways, be sure to let me know what you think about Chris's homes in those comments down below, as well as what other celebrity houses you'd like to see, and I'll see you all in the next one.